Okay, so I've been putting off starting this video because I don't know what to do or how to style it, but I'm going to do a short tour of my current basement, lab space, what we got going on around here. Lots of projects, lots of things in the works. Nothing quite at completion yet, and that's okay. So we are taking things slowly, taking the work slowly and letting it take its time, giving it the respect needed in order for a proper completion at the right time. This is a distillation of the rainwater that I've fermented for a year, collected last spring during thunderstorms, and fermented for a year in jugs. Have a bit more of the rainwater down there, as well as the beginnings of some metallic works. So we have our copper acetate solutions right there to be, we'll probably do some work with the copper tonight. Tonight is Monday. It is Monday at 10:35, so we have another hour and a half where the hour is still determined to Venus. So I would like to do some take this opportunity while we still have another 10 days in Cancer, where we which represents the dissolution. So we will begin further dissolution of the copper metallic form into its dissolved copper acetate blue solution. So hopefully I'm not too slow and we can get another step going with that. I would like to filter off this copper, and as you can see, there is still some metallic or copper 1 oxide powder in the bottom of this jar, as well as this one. So I would like to separate off that copper and see if I can get that to dissolve before taking more fresh metal out of the bag. Yes, so we're in Cancer under dissolution, and today's Tuesday, which is Mars Day, of course, and we do have some iron pyrite as well to work with, inspired by another YouTuber of another alchemical YouTube dude who has a nice channel. He says don't try this stuff at home, but I was already doing it, so hats off to you, Steven School Alchemy. So we have the iron pyrite representing the solar plexus, the copper representing the heart center, and what I'm most excited about personally is right here we have 2 ingots of lead, metallic lead, purified lead. So I'll be preparing for the beginning of the lead acetate work, the opus saturni, in order to produce the crystal and eventually the medicine, the oil of lead, which I feel like it will be a great medicine for me and great place to start as the foundation of your energy center. See, we have some cactus friends underneath the lights and all that. It's a little bit messy down here right now, but things are moving along and it's very exciting. So it's nice. Tonight maybe start, and we'd also like to start in ends. We have some ends with some alkaloid, some plant alkaloid to get at over here. So we start some end solutions. I would like to clean up and make it look a little bit nicer in here. Here we have our case of water, or the 7-fold, 12-fold, 4-fold, 3 and 4, 7, whatever, 12, yada yada. I'm just rattling numbers now, aren't I? Rainwater distillation into fractions, and then further fractions as to correspond with the zodiac. So all this stuff is great. Also the work with wine, the vegetable radical menstruum, the alkahesta, the vegetable kingdom. We have some condensed wine going on in the fridge. Got a lot of projects started, but everything with these are real slow. So it's in my mind, I mean, I'm used to this stuff, done my fair share of chemistry, and I can juggle a bit at the same time. Here we also have a belladonna tincture, belladonna solution. So this absolutely do not try. I mean, if you do, don't ingest it orally. It is quite poisonous. And I also have some thyme that will end up, both of those will end up as simple spagyric tinctures. Some fresh thyme from the garden, fresh thyme tincture in alcohol. Yeah. So I would like to set up all this stuff, eventually get a tripod where I can just set this phone down and have it fixed on something maybe a little bit more interesting to look at. I know in my other videos it's just been me on my face, and me yammering and blabbing about all sorts of stuff. But we'll do many different styles of videos as my channel develops. Both channels, Vita Ignis Alchemy and Green Elf Alchemy and Botanicals. I kind of have two sister channels going on at the moment, and it's very exciting to share this work with anyone who is interested in it. So, and it's funny. It's rather one of my teachers in this art, someone who I learned a great deal from, always said that if you don't worry too much about doing things in perfect alignment with the stars, in perfect alignment with the constellations, in perfect alignment with the days of the week, the hours, the planetary hours, all that stuff, it's not something to get hung up over. It's not something to prevent you from doing the work. If you're saying, oh gee, I want to make this lavender tincture, but it's not Wednesday, so I can't do it. Well, if you're really going to wait till Wednesday to have the energies of Mercury more in the air for you to do it, great. But don't let it hinder you. Just begin to do the work. The more you begin to do the work, the more you will fall into harmony with the rest of the realm, with the stars, with the earth, and with the bodies around you. The work has a way of just aligning you in that sense. It can almost sometimes be a little bit difficult if you're not aware of it, because it imparts changes quickly, perhaps changes that you're not quite ready for, or that you're still holding on to certain things that are best left in the past, or best transformed into another light. So the bottom line is, do the work, get started. Don't wait for the, if you're saying, a better example would be waiting for the season. So it's not Virgo season, so, I'm not going to do any distillations. Don't worry about that. do your distillations, do what you can do, and then I found myself just looking back, right? So I made a video a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, or whatever, I can't remember, of my first evaporation of the copper acetate solution of a different one. So now we have these copper acetate crystals right here that formed. Looking back, I hadn't even had the alchemical operations committed to memory yet. I still don't, but I look back, and that was right around Taurus, Gemini, when I happened to be making those crystals. What are the operations associated with Taurus and Gemini? Taurus, coagulation, Gemini, fixation. So I just so happened to set up an evaporation tray for the copper acetate, and it coagulated and fixed itself into these lovely crystals during that time. I now find myself furthering the work into further dissolutions of metallic copper into a copper acetate solution. Conveniently, we are in Cancer, the dissolution zodiac sign. So these things kind of just happen if you're in alignment with the work, if you're in alignment with yourself, and you're honing into some kind of intuitive sense of what you should be doing next, where you should be focusing your attention, and such. As we move forward into Leo, digestion, and Virgo, distillation, as I mentioned before. But what I would really like to do right now, since things have come together as far as my supplies go, I am setting up to begin Opus Saturni on Saturday. On Saturday, during the end of Cancer season, I will begin the dissolution of the lead ingots into its menstruum. This will be done on a Saturday morning during the hour of Saturn. I have a healthy respect for Saturn, even a bit more so than, I mean, all planets being equal, obviously, but there are certain ones have a bit more influence. I don't want to say that. I'm not playing favorites here, but I love Saturn. What can I say? It's always been my favorite planet, even when I was a kid. I was always drawn to Saturn, but I find a lot of my problems, a lot of different things in life come from an improper relationship with Saturnian principles, whether it's discipline or finance, being able to really take care of oneself, being able to have things organized, having a solid foundation for anything that you can do, being fully present here, grounded, not off in the clouds with some airy-fairy third eye, pseudo-spiritual enlightenment crown nonsense. I mean, it's not nonsense, but in my opinion, many people that concern themselves a lot with those higher vibe, higher energy things perhaps have not figured out the first thing about Saturnian work, about ground, about being here really and fully present in this realm. So that's why it's so important, because without that foundation, you can do nothing. You cannot reproduce results. You cannot reproduce people responsibly with your second chakra, with the sacral chakra, if you have not the discipline to actually engage in that reproduction. You have no business acquiring any abundance in the solar plexus. If you've no discipline in the Saturnian realm. It's just as simple as that. And love, of course. Forget love coming from Venus and the heart. If you've no Saturn. Excuse me one moment. I must edit, this is a little bit too scary for. This is not for the children, so I'm not going to include this right now in this video. It's a little bit scary. Oop. Okay. Sorry, bud. It's a little bit of the animal kingdom work there. It's okay. We love them. We love them. I'll explain later. Anyway, so Saturn. It's the foundation of everything. So I have a unique respect for beginning my metallic work with it. I have begun my metallic work really started in the center with the copper, because that's what I had at the time. I didn't even plan things like this. I discovered the acetate path when I really discovered real laboratory alchemy after myself being a chemist. I happened to have some copper powder and the things necessary in order to perform the first few steps in the acetate path. The philosophical killing of the metal through the oxidation, as well as the revivification of the metal with the vinegar menstruum. And I had taken that very slowly. I just worked with it for a little while. I just digested the solution on reflux, had it sitting for a long time, and then finally a few months ago I evaporated it and made those copper acetate crystals. So now I'm beginning other works on the metallic path, but according to alchemical manuscripts, that the lead is the real work in the acetate path that yields some of the best results, although I know other metals also yield good results with the acetate path. But I have explained my interest and reasoning for beginning with the Saturn work, because I feel it is of utmost importance. Of course, the lead is dangerous. Of course, we must be careful when producing and working with our red dragon. But it is what it is. Shall I flip this? I'm outside smoking. Do a flip. Hello, everyone. Got something on my nose. It's George here with the Vita Ignis Green Elf Alchemy and Botanicals. Coming at you on a Monday night in the stairwell. Smoking some tobacco. Anyway, I kind of liked having it the other way, where I'm not the focus of this. It's about the work, you know. It's not about me entirely. But what's important to remember is the work is a reflection of the self at all times. So the processes that go on in the flasks, in your beakers and retorts, alembics, condensers, fermentation jugs, it's all happening to you at the same time on some metaphysical level. It's your consciousness going through these exaltations, going through these putrefactions, separating the gross from the subtle, and purifying that which is the makeup of your mind, body, and soul. That is the true nature of this work. Of course, we love when we produce beautiful medicines that can alleviate our suffering, that can purify our body on a physical level. That's lovely, but it is not the answer to your problems. So if you're coming to this stuff with the dreams of creating panaceas for yourself, your family, and friends, I will not tell you that it's not possible, but I will tell you that it is tremendously tedious work that requires your utmost dedication and will require you to level up yourself, may cause you to strain your relationships or lose your relationships or rebuild your relationships or something or other. There's a reason this is a hermetic art. It's a very singular sort of path. So, yeah, it's what I'm getting at is, my friend gave me a lovely quote the other night when I explained this to him, or my perspective on it at least, and this is what others who are teachers and friends to me have said. That once you make the stone, you don't need the stone. So really, as you do the work does work on you. So when you're doing any of these processes that are in a harmonic resonance with the energy centers in your body, with the chakra centers, the portals of energy located up and down your spine, that reflect in your psychological states, your physical body, and your life at large. The work begins to heal those things that you needed to heal, that you needed to change within your psyche, within your physical body, and ideally, if you're doing it properly, once you produce the medicine, congratulations, you're healed already. But everything being fractal in nature, there is an ever unfolding of the onion layers, so to speak, that you will go deeper and deeper into understanding these concepts and archetypes in order for you to express them through your own life, or perhaps impart teachings to others. I'm no teacher. I'm not coming at this trying to tell anyone how to do anything. I'm just sharing my experience, sharing my love for this art, my love for chemistry, philosophy, mysticism, psychedelics, any of that. Just sharing my journey with it so that maybe someone else can get something out of it. It's a subtle process. It takes a long time. If you're looking for fast results, if you're looking for something that's going to smack you in the face, go ahead and take a few hundred mics of LSD or something. Because alchemy is a long game. Alchemy is a long path to take, and I, as anyone would recommend that all start with vegetable work, that all start with work with plants, familiarizing yourself with chemistry in general before you pick up any mineral or metallic work, as it is a bit more unforgiving and a bit more dangerous. So start with the plants. The plants will be very rewarding, but the metals produce a different concentration of energy, in my opinion. The forms and the consciousness that you're working with in the metallic and mineral worlds are more fundamental. They are immortal. The metals have been here for quite some time, forged out of the seed from the center of the earth. But it's a good path. As Maynard Keenan says, if there were no rewards to reap, no loving embrace to see me through this tedious path I've chosen here, I certainly would have walked away by now. And that one hits me every time, you know. I've been at this stuff for over 10 years in one way or another. Perhaps longer, much longer if you define alchemy as the relationship between matter and consciousness. I always knew I wanted to do lab work since I was very young, and I've been exploring the relationship between plants, drugs, human consciousness, animals, for a very long time. And so, here we are. My tobacco has gone out. There we go. There's the sign. And back inside we go. So, if anyone's watching this, I thank you for entertaining my different video style in this one, where I just kind of openly pontificate once again. See if I can set up this, set up something. I'm probably just going to end this video soon so I can focus and work on the copper. I need to get a tripod for this thing so I can set up the video properly so y'all can see what's going on here. On my Instagram I have posted the sun oven, the sun dome, another little trick I pulled from Mr. Stevens' School Alchemy. Thank you, sir. Where we have another bowl of copper acetate here, and before there were some shards in there, I guess from the warmth of the dehumidifier. You can't really see the shards. You can see a little bit of that white powder, the white foliated earth, as they say, that has begun to form in the sun dome. So for those who haven't seen or don't know, this bowl part goes on top here, and it forms a little lens for the sun's rays to be concentrated through, and this has been evaporating for some time. We have some whinstone here that has that have begun to coagulate. The beauty of alchemy is that it all comes down to those wonderful phrases that tell us oh so much. As above, so below. Solve and coagula. To dissolve and coagulate and reunite. It really is that simple. Sulfur, mercury, salt. Solve and coagula. We meditate upon this, and it bestows us new teachings again and again. That's the beauty of our work. It's the beauty of our art. And what time have we? 11:03, so I must get started as I distract myself with this video here. So I hope those who have stuck it out for the half hour have enjoyed my musings here. More to come. Thank you.